Inaction is the slowest, most venomous form of death that drifts in unnoticed. Pause here, a doubt there you convince yourself you'll move tomorrow that there's time, but time is no ally. Time is the blade carving pieces off your potential, draining you dry while you sit frozen doing nothing. Inaction doesn't crash in like a violent storm, no, it's a creeping rot, a decay from the inside out. And you feel it, don't you? That hollow ache, that soft voice whispering what you already know. You're dying, and not in some blazing moment of glory. You're dying in your own silence, your own stillness. There's something more sinister about inaction, more treacherous than failure, because failure means you tried, you swung your blade, you took a step, and even if you stumbled, even if you fell, you were alive in the attempt. But inaction is the coward's bargain, the fool's trap. It's the choice to hide in the safety of your mind while the world moves forward without you, and every hour you spend frozen, every breath you hesitate, the opportunity runs through your fingers like sand. You don't even see it, but each passing moment tightens, the rope drags you deeper into the mire of your own passivity. You see, inaction deceives you. It convinces you you're dodging risk, dodging pain, but in truth you're choosing the cruelest kind of suffering, a slow, lingering death where the soul shrivels and the spirit rots. And the worst part, you feel it creeping. You know what you're losing. You see the chances you ignored, the steps you refused. You sit in your own stillness, watching as life overtakes you, as others ascend while you remain in the same stagnant water. Spoiling inaction is a thief, it steals your future. It takes what might be and leaves you nothing but regret. Every sunrise you fail to act, fail to leap, fail to seize the risk is another step closer to the finish. And when that finish comes, when you're left gazing at the ruins of a life unlived, what will you hold? A fist of dreams never chased, 1,000 reasons, and the sour taste of what could have been. Inaction is the grave of potential, the butcher of dreams. It sings you into a false sense of safety, but the only gift it gives is slow oblivion. It charms you, makes you believe that waiting, pausing, pondering is wisdom, but it's poison. Inaction is the devil on your shoulder, whispering that you'll move tomorrow, that you need more time, and in that waiting, in that pause, you hand over your power, you hand over your life. You may think you're avoiding failure, but you're embracing a far darker ending. Irrelevance, you fade, you vanish, not with a crash, but with a whimper. Slowly, quietly, you see the world does not wait for those who stay still. The world is a merciless judge, and inaction the single crime it never pardons. The doors you ignore will not reopen, the chances you let slip will never circle back. In one day you wake to find yourself erased from the field, no longer a player, only a shadow, forgotten, discarded, irrelevant. And that is the cruelest cut. A warrior in a garden is stronger than a gardener in a war. You feel the truth in those words, don't you? It's not a clever saying for wise men to repeat. It's the mirror of reality, a reminder that peace is fragile, paper thin, and one whim of power can rip it to shreds. Being a warrior among roses is learning to tame your inner darkness, to chain it with discipline and patience until the hour arrives, because hear this clearly, the storm will come, and when it does, it won't knock, it won't wait for you to prepare. It will devour you before you even raise your hand, by then too late. The warrior in the garden knows stillness. He values the silence, the pause before the clash, but inside that calm beats a steel heart, a sharpened edge, a spirit forged by scars and tempered in fire. You see, he's always ready. He breathes the fragrance of flowers, but the moment the air shifts, the instant war paints the sky red. He's already there, no panic, no hesitation, because he's walked through night before. He is the night, resting until the hour demands his awakening. But a gardener in the crossfire, that's the true tragedy. A gentle soul ripped from safety and cast into a pit that cares nothing for kindness, nothing for purity. He is defenseless, misfit prey among predators, and when blood floods the ground, when chaos screams in his ears, he shatters. He was never meant for this, never trained for the brutal law of survival. The earth is a battlefield, whether you look away or not, and the warrior in the garden never mistakes the illusion of calm for truth. He knows peace is just a heartbeat, just a pause between storms, a fleeting interlude before the darkness rises again. So he sharpens in silence, he trains unseen, while others rest in their sweet ignorance. He has no need to boast, no need to flaunt strength, because he knows when the roses turn to ashes, when the garden burns, he'll be the one unbroken blade in hand, prepared to protect or to annihilate. It is always better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war, because real strength is readiness. You savor the calm, but never grow soft. Never let your defenses rot, because you know how fast the winds shift. The gardener in battle, he's the casualty, he's the torn flesh, the victim swallowed whole by a world he refused to see. He clings to delusion, imagines a world of endless peace. peace and growth, but the warrior, he has tasted war. And now in the garden he breathes easy, but never forgets the flowers are only a pause, a fleeting escape from the blade of reality, and only a fool believes the roses will shield him when the fire returns. The warrior remembers the truth, he knows the world is cruel, unkind, and merciless, so when he stands as a warrior in the garden, he already holds victory. He has mastered both realms, the stillness and the storm. He can nurture life, admire beauty, but he can strip it away in an instant if the hour demands. That's the grim truth most run from, but you see it clearly. Peace is a mask of fragile lies stretched over the violence beneath. Survival demands duality. You must be both the planter and the fighter, but always the warrior first, because when the tempest comes, and it will come, you'll either rise to meet it or be crushed beneath your own blindness. Transformation is slow, subtle as shadow that creeps until it swallows everything. That is Kaizen, the silent art of becoming something sharper, something dangerous, while unseen until it's far too late. You don't announce the climb, you don't reveal your hand, you break the stone quietly day by day while they sleep blind in comfort. And by the time their eyes open, you already surpassed them, already left them behind. You see, Kaizen is not perfection. Perfection is a mirage, a leash they use to keep the weak running in circles. No, Kaizen is progress, endless, relentless progress, a better you each day, no matter the size of the step. It is the hunger for mastery, knowing it can never be fully reached, but craving the rise, craving the battle, because in that rise, in that grind, you become the unknown, the force they can never predict, never tame. You move in silence, brick by brick, while they chase illusions, quick fixes, shortcuts, the lie. That greatness comes overnight, but you know the truth. Kaizen reveals power lies in the details, in the repetition, in the daily scars, in the work they'll never see. And beneath it all lies a harsher truth. Vision without execution is madness. It is only a sweet lie you whisper to yourself to feel alive. Many speak of vision, of grand plans and futures, but where is the blood? Where is the step forward? They fall in love with the image of who they could be, drugged by fantasy, but never take the swing, never strike the iron. They rot in their own minds, mistaking thought for action, but that is the poison that keeps them chained, a wheel of empty dreams that never take form. You see, without execution, vision is silence. It is only another hallucination, another shadow that vanishes when you dare to reach too close. Close people always love to talk about what they're about to do. Tomorrow's my start. I've got great plans, but tomorrow never shows, and those big plans, they rot, crumble into nothing, because they were never born to be lived out in the first place. They were daydreams, not missions, and a dream without movement is just a mirage, a flash of light that dies before it even sparks. Kaizen rejects every mirage. It's ruthless in its call for execution, for steady movement. No matter how small, it doesn't bow to your grand story, it doesn't bow to your fantasies, it bows only to what you act on today, right now. And if you fail to act, if you fail to grind, your vision dies silently, slowly it drifts into the shadows of nothingness. Clarity won't come from waiting, from spinning your thoughts, from endlessly chewing what ifs. No clarity rises in the chaos of movement, from diving straight into the unknown. The secret, if you can bear it, is to try all things, to embrace the madness, the unknown, the confusion. And in that storm, you'll stumble on something that seizes you, something you can't tear yourself away from, but you must be willing to drown in the flood before you see the stillness. You see, confusion isn't the foe, it's the doorway. The real foe is hesitation, the paralysis of indecision. They fear motion and failure, but they don't grasp that inaction is the slowest, most agonizing death of all. It's better to be burned by action, to throw yourself into the fire and see what remains, because here's the truth: when you taste everything, when you live the whole spectrum of life, the mediocrity falls off, the noise burns away, and all that's left is the thing you're called to, the one that tugs at you, that whispers to you in the quiet of night, that you can't release even if you tried, but you won't find it. Standing on the edge, will you know you've got to stain your hands, plunge into the dirt and mud of existence. You have to fail again and again until the failures teach you what isn't yours, what isn't your path. You must be ready to be lost in the dark, groping, chasing shadows, until finally you touch the weight of something real. And when you hold it, you'll know, because it will fill you, it will take over your mind, swallow your soul, and you'll see that nothing else counts. All the other things you tasted, they were just noise, but you had to move through the noise to reach the signal, didn't you? The timid, they're scared of that chaos. They need certainties, promises. They want to see the map before they take one step, but you're different. You know the road only appears through movement, through falling and rising. You're not unafraid of being lost, because you know being lost is only the path to discovery. They cling cling to comfort trapped in the repeating cycle of hesitation, waiting for the perfect chance, but that chance it never appears, and while they pause you're out. They're acting, risking, stumbling, evolving. Confusion is not weakness, it's a blessing. It's the universe daring you to explore, to test, to stretch your limits and see what brings you back. And when you discover that thing, that one thing you cannot break free from, you don't just commit to it, you embody it. Consumes you, molds you, transforms you into something they'll never grasp. You stop wondering, stop drifting, and channel all your strength, all your flame into that single mission. And in doing so you rise above the confusion while they remain trapped in the fog of their own hesitation.